Sleep is for suckers. You dig? All right. Turn on the other light. Let's get it started. All right. Let's get into it. Put it on JLab. Boom. All right. Podcast number 106. Let's get into tonight's episode. So, tonight we're going to be talking about, knowing how to defend yourself. Now, this was a topic that I wanted to do a long time ago. And of course, my channel is about men being men. Now, I do see a flux in audience when it comes to women. So there will be some honorable mentions for you ladies too. But I do have to stick to the program and stick to the topic of my podcast. So let's get into the podcast. And oh, shit. Moderator, say something in the chat. I have to make you a moderator on here because you're not a moderator. So say something so I can make you a moderator right quick. All right. This is a new one. All right. You're anything disrespectful in the chat, moderator will blast. All right. So yeah, tonight's topic, knowing how to defend the essentials, a part of being a man. Some of men's response beginning of time is to provide and protect. So if you don't know how to defend your lady, you'll run into some problems. But let's get into the topic tonight. We're going to keep tradition. For those who are new, this is usually what we do. We play a song, and then after the song, we will get into the podcast. Tonight, we're going to go with a classic. This is Compete by JL on all streaming platforms. And after the song, we're getting right into the podcast. It's bright.
Look, I'm just out here on the road, I'm just trying to get this chase. Reminiscing about your body, how you put it all on me. When it's all said and done, you the one I'm trying to see. Yeah, them hoes cool, but again, shoot, they don't compete. Nah, they don't compete, yup. When I get back home, let's believe I'm trying to see ya. Where you been all this time, baby girl, I need ya. Been with other women, but they really don't compete. Nah, they don't compete. Shorty cold, she bring winter to the summertime. I ain't trying to gas her, but she one of kind. Might be talking crazy, cause the pussy heavy on my mind. But every time I get a bad one, this happens all the time. But it don't feel the same, yeah, it feels different. My niggas say I'm bugging all the time and say I'm tripping. Try to give me mad advice, but you know I never listen. Fuck all that, she got what I need and everything I'm missing. I'm just out here on the road, I'm just trying to get this chase. Reminiscing about your body, how you put it all on me. When it's all said and done, you the one I'm trying to see. Yeah, them hoes cool, but again, shoot, they don't compete. Nah, they don't compete, yup. When I get back home, let's believe I'm trying to see ya. Where you been all this time, baby girl, I need ya. Been with other women, but they really don't compete. Nah, they don't compete, yeah. And all that other shit is getting old. And we ain't getting younger, we just getting old. So why we wasting time, what we in it for? I visualize it in my dreams, but now I'm trying to see it though, yeah. Drop the Addy, baby, show me what you bout, yeah. Know you wanna fuck with me because of word of mouth, yeah. Kissing on your body while I'm going down south, yeah. Dick you down, yeah. Fuck you all over the couch, yeah. You ain't gotta tell me, baby, I know what it is. Even if you got a nigga, he ain't fucking you like this. I'ma need you when your birthday, so we handle biz. When I pull up on you, you know that it's lit. I'm just out here on the road, trying to get this chase. Reminiscing about your body, how you put it all on me. When it's all said and done, you the one I'm trying to see. Yeah, them hoes cool, but again, shoot, they don't compete. Nah, they don't compete, yup. When I get back home, let's believe I'm trying to see ya. Where you been all this time, baby girl, I need ya. Been with other women, but they really don't compete. Nah, they don't compete.
Alrighty then. So that was J.O. Competes. That's Jaeoh. You can find that all streaming platforms if you did find interest in that song. But let's get into tonight's topic. So tonight we are going to be talking about, knowing to defend yourself. And this is a good topic to cover. Um, and uh, and also there's some things in there for ladies too. Because a lot of the times men usually need to know how to defend himself, to protect his tribe, protect his lady. If you go back since the beginning of time, what has man's responsibilities been to provide and protect, right? I mean, society's a little different nowadays, but even still, when it comes to protection, a woman still relies on a man to protect her. And, it's just very different. It's very different when it comes to when you're talking about physical strength. Um, Now, for starters, I think that I truly and strongly believe that a man should always know how to defend himself, right? Physically, um, even if it's arming yourself, right? And growing up, my father, I always thought my father made me. Because I've been boxing my whole life, right? I've been boxing since the age of 8, and now I'm a professional fighter, right? Went pro a little late, but it's not too late. I'll stop fighting when I'm 38, so I still have about 11 years to go, right? You can create wonders in that time. So he always taught me. He said that I think a man should always know how to defend himself, right? What and what coward of a man doesn't know how to defend himself? Even 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 if you just have heart, somebody with heart will fight back, right? A fucking dog will fight back, right? But you should always know how to defend yourself. And I always thought, because when I was younger, I guess I always had a natural inclination towards fighting. I would come home from school and I would just every day like get into a fight, get in trouble for something, just get my ass beaten, go back to school, do the same thing over and over. There was something wrong with me as a child. Like I just had this immense gap in intelligence and intellect from when I was in like school to like being a fucking adult. I don't know what it was, but I just fought a lot. Right. Let's say if I maybe had, this is a real number, I had maybe about 100 and maybe 15 amateur fights, like boxing amateur bouts. Let's say I probably had, oh, maybe about half of that, maybe even more than that, street fights, right? I got into a lot of street fights because there were a lot of guys that wanted to test me. Now, if you look at me now, I might not look, the baby face not may not be so apparent because now I have a beard. But when I was younger, I had a very, a very kind and lighthearted face, right? Very baby face, and um, I don't look intimidating. So a lot of guys made the mistake of, starting shit with me. Now, I'm not the one who goes around looking for trouble. And obviously, you got to choose your battles. If somebody pulls out a gun on you, you don't want to obviously try to fight him. But there was a lot of situations that I got into because motherfuckers would look at me wrong. Like, fuck you looking at? I'm looking at you, motherfucker. And they didn't expect that, right? I had motherfuckers tell me, oh, you just a pretty boy, you don't know how to fight. And they got their ass beat. And I like to fight. You know, um, I had posted something on my on my um on my story on Instagram. And I got it from Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is a you know, world champion, one of the best pound for pound boxers in the world. I said, um, and it said, I don't like to argue because I like to fight. Right. I like to fight. It reminds me of that whole. You remember that whole meme with like it was like a TikTok and it was like Batman, right? It was like niggas think I'm fighting to save the day, but really, nigga, I just like to fight. That's me. That's me. Now, like I said, you got to choose your battles carefully, right? I feel like it is essential for a man to know how to defend yourself, and that's okay because if you don't know how to, right, you can always learn, and maybe that's just not you. Some men are cowards, and I can respect the man that says, you know what, I'm not a fighter. I'm not a fighter. That's not me. Um, and I get that. And there are alternatives to that. But I feel as if when you have a family, uh, and one day you want to have a family, even if you're the man of the house and your father's not there, or maybe your father passed away, or maybe you didn't grow up with your father, but you have siblings and you have a mother, you have to take that role of protector. That's what being a man is about, right? Why do you think in the religious books, in the Bible and Quran, it says a man is supposed to lead, a woman should submit to her husband. Now, obviously, not everybody's married, but there's a direct correlation between a marriage and somebody who is, in a relationship. So I believe men should lead. Men should know how to protect. You should know how to protect your tribe. Um, and it starts with, uh, you know, learning how to fight yourself, learning how to defend yourself, right? If you're somebody who commands and demands respect, you're not going to let anybody just come around disrespecting you. Now, if a situation is pushed far enough, sometimes you has to go to fisticuff, right? There's plenty of people that I have fights with, and we're still friends, right? I could beat you up and then dap you up after, but sometimes there is some respect needed. Like sometimes some things are said, some things are done that are just completely disrespectful, and you don't want to hate the person, but sometimes you got to square up. Now, when it comes to situations of being in a relationship and knowing how to defend yourself and defend your lady, now listen, and this is a very important thing. I think that if you do not know how to defend yourself, right, and you get into an altercation with your lady or in front of your lady, and you were not able to defend yourself and you allowed somebody to disrespect your lady, and don't get me wrong, we're going to cover all the areas with that too. Or you get disrespected in front of your lady and she doesn't feel protected, she won't trust you to lead that relationship. Now, she may not say it at first, but trust and believe, if you cannot protect her and she doesn't trust you to protect her, right? If she says in the back of her head, without you ever saying it, oh, maybe I shouldn't go out and do this, maybe I shouldn't go out and do that because I know my man can't fight and I know he's not going to defend me. That's very considerate of her, right? But that is disgraceful. That is disgraceful. And as a man, you should want to defend your lady and you should know how to defend her. And trust me, and if you don't, and if she doesn't feel comfortable with you knowing how to defend and lead that relationship, she won't trust you. She won't trust you. Now, personally, I've never been in that situation, but I've spoken about maybe several different guys where they said they got into situations where they were out with their girl, and uh, well, one was exceptional. They fought together and got beat up, which was cute and romantic, right? In a Bonnie and Clyde kind of way. But and another two situations, uh, the girl started to disrespect them because they got into arguments and he got loud with her. And she said, "Oh, well, why you get loud with those guys who wanted to fight you and you walked away, right?" So then you're subjugated to stuff like that because uh, you didn't want to man up, right? Now, like I said, it is very essential for you to know how to defend yourself. Just for you, just to protect yourself, just to protect your lonesome, right? To defend you and your lady, because eventually, you want to get married one day. Maybe you might not marry that in particular girl, but one day you will have a wife and you will have a family. So I think it is very important that you learn to defend yourself, right? And you don't want to be in that situation where you get challenged in public in front of your lady and somebody walks up to your lady and is trying to talk to her in your face. Somebody's trying to talk to your lady in your face, and that's blatant disrespect because most men don't do that. Trust me, most men don't do that. Most men don't walk up to another man while he's with his lady and tries to talk to her. Straight up. Now that's grounds for a fight. That is grounds for a fight. And it's not even about her at that point because what he's saying to you is, I don't give a fuck about you. Yeah, I see you with her, but I still want to talk to her. Now what's up? That's disrespectful. So at that point, it's not about her. And he's disrespecting you. And you got to learn how to defend yourself. Even if you're not the best fighter, show some heart. Because at least if you fight a man for disrespecting you, right? If you fight a man for disrespecting you and he knows that you're going to put up some type of fight, he's not going to challenge you every time he sees you because he knows, all right, I can beat him up, but it's going to be a scuffle and it's not going to come easy. So at least he earned my respect for defending himself, right? You got to learn to defend yourself. And it's not hard. right? Say if you go to the fitness gym every day and you lift weights, right? Or maybe you go 3, 4 times or 5 days a week, right? Imagine if you learned a craft of fighting, some form of martial arts, whether that be boxing, karate, taekwondo, whatever it is, jujitsu, judo, all those same times. In a year's time, you'll know how to fight efficiently. In 2 years' time, you'll probably be pretty good. 3 years' time, and you do it consistently, go even 3 days a week. That repetition over that length of time, you'll be good. And guys aren't getting into fights every day, right? Guys aren't getting into fights every day. And if you just do that consistently, you'll know how to defend yourself. Just take the time out to learn how to defend yourself, especially you young guys. Take pride in it, and trust me, it'll turn your girl on more. She'll like it. She'll be like, "Yeah, my man know how to defend himself. He know how to fight." She'll brag about it. But ladies, you got to be careful with that too, because that's a perfect segue, you know. And when it comes to ladies, and when your man defending himself, you don't want to put him in a compromising situation. Now, I know a lot of ladies, and I did a TikTok on it today. A lot of ladies, and I get it. We lived in a very civilized world, living in America, right? Well, as far as it, as far as it comes to women's rights, and men just not being complete barbarians and animals. Um, when it comes to that situation, uh, you know, we do live in a world where men aren't just going to hit women uh, all willy nilly, right? And there are a lot of situations where a woman will get into an argument with a guy. Because the girl I talked to, oh my God, who's calling me? I'm trying to work. There was a situation where I was talking to a girl, and she got into two situations where she was running her mouth. A guy did something. The guy was in the wrong, but it was a situation where she escalated because she was running her mouth. Right now, I said, "Listen, I get it. You're not going to let anybody talk to you any type of way, but you got to stop with that masculine energy. Because if he were to match it and said, 'Who the fuck are you talking to? I don't care about you getting in my face. I don't care about you talking to me crazy. Now I'm going to hit you.' Some guys don't have morals and ethics. Some guys don't give a fuck about that, right? Some guys don't care about that. They will beat your ass as a woman. Some men don't care about it. Now, I feel like most society is not going to just step to you and beat you up, but some men don't care about that. Some men don't care about that. Or you could be in a situation where he said, "You know what? I'm not going to fight you, but what I am going to do, I'm going to get a gang of girls. I'm going to get my girl and her girlfriends. I'm going to get, he might be a part of a gang where there's girls in it. Or he might go get his sister and a few other girls to come and jump you. Now you're with your man and you're putting him in a compromising situation where he's beating a whole bunch of bitches up." Now, listen, I don't believe in hitting females. Um, and I've never severely ever hit a female, right? Um, Now, one of the only situations why I say it's okay to hit a female is when you are getting jumped. And this is something my father told me. Never actually been faced with this situation. Is when you're getting jumped and a female wants to jump in like one of those guys, then you hit her like a guy, because you don't got time to be not hitting her, and you got a whole bunch of people coming at you. Everything is going fast. So she want to fight like a nigga, she gonna get hit like one, right? So I don't recommend guys hitting females, but ladies, don't put your man in a compromising situation, right? And some of these guys are crazy, and some of these guys own guns, right? So you call him crying, you got beat up, right? And maybe he's not there, so now he's coming, racing there on the highway, or however he's going to get to you. Probably has his gun on him, right? Probably going to get into a situation where that could end him up in jail, or hurt, or loss of life, putting maybe your life in danger, right? So ladies, you got to be careful, and especially when you're with him. Especially when you're with him. There are situations, some women have such mouths on them, they will run their mouth while they're with their man and get him into a situation, right? Now, um, for example, uh, there was one situation where a client was telling me how, and he did the right thing. Well, a client was telling me how he was with his girl, and it was just him and her, and they were at some type of party. And long story short, the story went, she was running her mouth to some guys and they were talking shit, and she got in their face, and he basically condemned her in front of them. And he did it to save his ass, right? And that what he said, where these was a group of guys, he felt as if they were gang members or dangerous or whatever it was. And he said, why are you doing this? Why are you confronting this man like that, huh? And he basically put her on the spot. And um, instead of the guys trying to beat him up for her mouth, because I've seen that happen all the time, what they did was they acknowledged the fact that he condemned her for talking shit and putting him in a compromising situation, right? Because he said to her, "Are you going to fight them? Are you going to fight them? Huh? Now, what if he has a gun on him and you putting all of us in a compromising situation?" And I get it. You got to choose your battles. I don't say you should go around fighting people. Somebody pulls out a gun. That's happened to me before. Somebody's pulled knives out on me. It happened. I say, hey, man, listen, you got it. I'm ain't trying to kill you. We could fight. You could put the gun down. We could scrap. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to do it like that, all right, cool. You're not fighting, cool. Be smart. Don't be stupid. But ladies, you got to understand, don't put your man in a compromising situation. Especially when you're in a neighborhood and you're in a place where you don't know nobody. You getting in all in some man's face talking crazy. Now he has to defend you. In some cases, that's okay. But you got to understand, not everybody's did a fight. In a lot of states, they have guns on them. And if he initiates that fight and a guy pulls out a gun, in some states, they are justified for shooting him. So he could take your life. And then what? There's no justice. Then only street justice. Now you're starting a war. It's like Helen of Troy, right? A whole war started over her because she wanted to have an affair. If you're familiar with the story, right? But running your mouth will get you in compromising situations, you know, and running your mouth while you're with him. Just be careful of that. But men, you should still know how to defend yourself. And what are some solutions for that? One, I advise you guys to learn how to fight. Learn how to fight. Like I would never raise a child in this world and he doesn't know how to defend himself. I would never do that. I would never raise a man. I feel like this is my opinion. And of course, not everybody's a warrior, right? And like the Prophet Muhammad said, the ink from a scholar is worth more than I think it's worth more than a martyr. I'm not sure. Something like that. But the point is, you know, not everybody has to be a warrior. But at heart, I'm a warrior, right? My name is Khalid, however you want to say it, right? It's the name of a warrior. So I feel like as a man, you have to know how to defend yourself. And I feel like you should work on that craft and enhance those skills. You should enhance those skills. And not only just physically learning how to defend yourself. Like, listen, there's no excuse. You guys go to the gym to play basketball. Probably every other day, every day you go to the fitness gym. Go to somewhere, learn how to pick up an art form, whether that be boxing, kickboxing, something, Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu. All that time that you go to go to the gym and you play basketball, go pick up an art form, learn to defend yourself. Now, even when it comes to arms, you got to learn how to defend your house. You got to learn to defend your family one day. Somebody breaks into your house and you meeting somebody at the door with a kitchen knife. You meeting somebody at the door with a bat. Oh, fuck that. You break in my house, bullets is flying. And I pray you don't make it out, because you need to be made an example of. You break into listen, absolutely not. And you have to defend your family. God forbid something happens, somebody breaks into your house or something happened to your family. You know how you would eat yourself up if you weren't able to defend your family? Absolutely not. That's not honorable. You defeat your purpose as a man. What is your purpose here? Is the most rudimentary level of being a man is to provide and protect. If you can't protect, you're not fulfilling your duties as a man. So what the fuck are you doing? Huh? What the fuck is you doing? You can't defend yourself or your family. One day you have children or wife. No, you have to learn to defend them. You have to be a protector. She should look to you as a protector. Very simple. Very simple. So learn how to defend yourself. Arm yourself, right? If you're a felon, hey, listen, you can arm yourself and nobody has to know. Listen, if you, and I'm not recommending doing stuff illegal, but listen, you got to do what you got to do to protect your family, right? I'd rather do 20 years in jail than to have a deceased family member, right? God forbid, knock on wood, or a child, or a wife. Absolutely not, because I could live with that, right? I'll do that time comfortably, and I'll be okay with that, knowing I saved their lives, right? And it's your job as a man. And sit down with your ladies, have a talk with her. If you know your lady has a mouth on her, sit down like, listen, baby, we got to talk. You got to sit her down and talk like, listen, I need you to stop running your mouth. I need you to, I just need you to just chill out. Stop arguing with men in the street. You put yourself in a very dangerous situation. Now, I get it. Some people don't believe shit stink until they smell it. Some people don't believe shit stink until they smell it, right? So they have to actually experience a harsh situation in order for them to learn from it. And it sucks, those kind of people, because those people aren't unwise at all, because they can't learn from other people's wisdom. But you have to sit her down and say, listen, your mouth is going to get you in trouble one day, right? And you can tell her a story. You can even make up a fictitious story just to give an example. You can search stories. Some men are very petty. I remember I was watching Dateline, and a girl got into an argument with a guy, and he followed her home and did all types of crazy stuff to her. But you never know. That's the point. You never know. So you have to sit your lady down, and you have to make sure that all that disrespectful shit, you got to cut that out. Because when the chickens come home to roost, listen, that's your own. You're reaping what you sowed. You put that in. You put that out there. You put that energy out there, and it got matched. You need to sit your lady down and tell her, listen, I need you to be a little more respectful. You got to understand, some men don't give a fuck about that. And a lady who doesn't, and I'm not saying that, listen, you call it misogynistic, call it with the whatever the fuck ever, call it what you want. But if you don't know your place, listen, somebody's going to put you somewhere in some place, right? You got to know your place. You sit her down and talk to her like, listen, I need you to just chill, right? And so it's okay to talk back sometime. It's okay to talk back. But don't do that extra. Don't be getting in his face. Don't be putting your fingers in some stranger's face, right? Don't be threatening people. Don't be doing all that extra shit. If you really feel threatened, you really feel as if you need to do something, call your man, call your father. Call all these other people. Call somebody to help you. But don't get in a man's face, and don't be trying to act like a dude, right? You got to know your place. Now I get it. You got some people who call him inside, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you, for yourself, sit your lady down and do that, and arm yourself. I know some states have different laws when it comes to guns, but do your best. Have a machete, have a whatever. Even if you get an airsoft BB gun, some of these airsoft BB guns are lethal. You could put out a fucking eye. Something. Learn to defend yourself. It's an essential part of being a man. You don't know how to defend yourself. If you can't be trusted to lead your relationship, what are you doing? The fuck are you doing? You failing to be a man. Be a man. All right. So we're gonna end this podcast off. Then we're gonna take some questions. We're gonna end this off with "Compete" by Jo, and then we'll answer some questions for you guys.
Look, I'm just out here on the road, I'm just trying to get this chase. Reminiscing about your body, how you put it all on me. When it's all said and done, you the one I'm trying to see. Yeah, them hoes cool, but again, shoot, they don't compete. Nah, they don't compete. Yup, when I get back home, best believe I'm trying to see ya. Where you been all this time, baby girl, I need ya. Been with other women, but they really don't compete. Nah, they don't compete. Shorty cold, she bring winter to the summertime. I ain't trying to gas her, but she want a kind. Might be talking crazy, cause the pussy heavy on my mind. But every time I get a bad one, this happens all the time. But it don't feel the same, yeah, it feels different. My niggas say I'm bugging all the time and say I'm tripping. Try to give me mad advice, but you know I never listen. Fuck all that, she got what I need and everything I'm missing. I'm just out here on the road, I'm just trying to get this chase. Reminiscing about your body, how you put it all on me. When it's all said and done, you the one I'm trying to see. Yeah, them hoes cool, but again, shoot, they don't compete. Nah, they don't compete. Yup, when I get back home, best believe I'm trying to see ya. Where you been all this time, baby girl, I need ya. Been with other women, but they really don't compete. Nah, they don't compete. Yeah, and all that other shit is getting old. And we ain't getting younger, we just getting old. So why we wasting time? What we in it for? I visualize it in my dreams, but now I'm trying to see it though. Yeah, talk to Addie, baby, show me what you bout. Yeah, know you wanna fuck with me because of word of mouth. Yeah, kissing on your body while I'm going down south. Yeah, dick you down. Yeah, fuck you all over the couch. Yeah, you ain't gotta tell me, baby, I know what it is. Even if you got a nigga, he ain't fucking you like this. I'ma need you when your birthday, so we handle biz. When I pull up on you, you know that it's lit. I'm just out here on the road, I'm just trying to get this chase. Reminiscing about your body, how you put it all on me. When it's all said and done, you the one I'm trying to see. Yeah, the most cool, but again, shoot, they don't compete. Nah, they don't compete. Yup, when I get back home, best believe I'm trying to see ya. Where you been all this time, baby girl, I need ya. Been with other women, but they really don't compete. Nah, they don't compete.
All right, that was J.O. Competes. All right, Patreon guys, we got any questions? Shoot. Let's get it started. You got 2 minutes to answer, or I will get off of this motherfucker.
Yo, KB,
What the deal?
what does it mean when a girl is talking bad about you after you guys ended on good terms?
She's upset. She's salty. You said after you ended on good terms or bad terms?
I say I gave her like a response she didn't like, but yeah, I ended on good terms. Like,
wait, what?
So she sent me she said, I said something that she probably like that she didn't like, so I'm not sure if we ended on good terms or not.
What did you say?
Does that make sense?
No, it don't.
I just said I said accept your decision, and that's it.
Okay, well, that's not bad terms. What she just said she wanted to break up?
Yeah. And he gave me a whole paragraph saying that, it's okay, I always love you, this and that. I'm going to check up on you if you need me. I'm always be here for you, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
And I said, okay, respect your decision, you know? And then finding like 3 days later, I found out she was talking shit about me on Facebook. Like, I don't know. I think I already sent you these photos on Instagram.
Well, listen, I get a lot of people sending me stuff on Instagram, so I apologize if I don't remember. I mean, well, what was she saying? I mean, listen, first of all, you did the right thing. Let's start there, right? If anybody wants to leave you, you don't chase them. You don't beg for them. You say, you know what? I respect your decision, right? If that's what makes you happy, then I want you to be happy and you let them go. So let's start there. I commend you for doing the right thing. Now you said she's talking shit. What is she saying?
She's reposting like other people's statuses.
Okay, saying what? Give me an idea.
Let me read you this one, actually. Right here. Oh, all right, here's this one. Quoting this other dude that is status. Nigga, don't you got a girl? Respond as a nigga with a girl. And then she said, that's not my girl. She won't leave me alone. Basically saying what I said when I was trying to get with her. Me talking about my ex-girlfriend in the past.
Listen, so what? And she's talking. Listen, you didn't chase her. Obviously, she's still feeling some type of way. She doesn't like the fact that you didn't chase her, and she's emotional. She's just upset. She's salty. Whatever her reason was for breaking up with you, okay. But the simple fact that you didn't chase her, she doesn't like that. Most women don't like that, right? So whatever the fuck ever. Let her talk all the shit she wants. That's fine. It's gonna affect her more that it's not affecting you. She's gonna be concerned with that. And that's bothering her. That's why she's talking shit. And that goes to show that you're still on her mind. She might be regretting her decision. Right? So don't worry about it. Don't stoop to her level. Don't let her know you see it. And if you ever talk to her again, and she brings it up, say, I had no idea. Don't even acknowledge it. You say, okay, well, if you said that, you probably felt some type of way, and that's okay. You can express yourself. It's a free country. You can say whatever the hell you want. As long as you don't disrespect me to my face. You're good. Don't worry about it. Simple. Any more questions? All right. Who else got more questions? Shoot. Let me hear it. Protect. What the deal? You gonna talk or not? What's up, Pablo? You gonna speak? All right. So I guess nobody else has any questions. Okay, I'm gonna end this off. Now, I can't speak for everybody else on this one. I can only speak for myself. Now, I know that there's been probably a lot of females that just go to the wayside with me because I don't chase. I don't chase. In my 28 years on this earth, that if a girl's really interested in you, she won't make it difficult for you to see her. She won't make it difficult for you to hang out with her. And if she does, I just take it as, listen, you don't want to be bothered. If you leave me on scene, that just means you don't want to talk, right? And if you do want to talk, you'll reach out. I'm not chasing you. I know my worth and I know I have options, right? I know you got to put in initially a little more work at first. But there's a difference between pursuing and chasing. I'm not chasing you. Listen, you don't talk to me. You don't hit me back. We just don't talk no more. Why is that? Because you didn't really want to talk. And with this stupid ass if he really wants you, he'll chase you. Or if he really wants you, he'll apply pressure. Fuck out of here. Listen, there's too many girls in society. They outnumber us. There's too many girls in this world for me to be running and chasing after somebody. Oh shit, I'll be forgetting. I'm human too. I get it. Some of these girls is fine, right? They be fine.